What if your purpose isn't something that you chase, but it is something that is revealed through your personality? So that's the question that I have been thinking about and I have been exploring and I have been really diving deep. I found that question or came to the conclusion of that question when I was reading something. And this is what I read. It says that the true essence of purpose is more personality oriented, how God made you. And when I read that, it's not that I didn't understand it. I had to read it over and over and over and over again, right? It stopped me. It really did. And it wasn't like a stop me in my tracks type of thing because I needed to really, really, break it down. It was stop me in my tracks because I needed to dive deep, not just in the question, but in myself. Because I never really asked myself what exactly is my personality. I couldn't answer the question. I could not answer the question about what is my personality. I also started thinking, from again, all my years, those of you who know me, my years of working in education and in the school system and in institutions and in just various settings, I really started thinking about who am I beyond performance? Who am I when I'm not trying to prove myself to family, to friends, to work, to society, to this world? What exactly is my wiring when I am not trying to display this idea of perfection or when I'm not trying to be palatable for others, right? And so those are the things that I really started to grapple with in order for me to really dive deep into what is my personality, because I wanted to truly get that my purpose is personality oriented. And so I needed to really look deep into what my personality is, right? I needed to look inward. And so I started doing some reflecting. I started paying attention to, just me, how I process things, how I react, how I hear from God. What are the moments that make me feel most alive, that make me feel most aligned? I discovered that when I'm teaching, when I'm writing, when I'm creating, whether, I wrote these things down, whether, I'm creating systems or creating something beautiful or, creating something from a vision I had, that's when I lose track of time. That's when I really feel present. And that's when I feel like I'm aligned, right? And I started paying attention to those things. I started paying attention to even I'm the things in the situations where I may have muted myself as well. So, I know that I have muted myself in the past when it comes to like my feelings, my emotions, my sensitivities, and even my creativity and my leadership and my joy, even in the way that I speak and in the way that I think. And of course, I have muted my imperfections because I've covered it with my perfections, right? And so I just started asking and answering these questions about myself so that I could really understand my personality. And what I've come to realize is that my personality is not random, y'all. It is intentional. My personality is instruction. It really is. And I've also realized that my patterns and my systems and just the things that that make me, my character, my interests and my insights and my abilities and my presence and how I think and how I show up and how I the things I desire and how I serve and how I impact. And I'm reading all these from the notes and the reflections that I've made. All of that is intentional and it is instruction, and these are patterns that have been placed in me by God, right? All of these things. And they are the things that allow me to have the impact, that allow me to hold space for other people. Um, and I've also realized that these things are not me being extra, like I've been told in the past. These are things that are by design. They are the things that make me me. These are the things of my personality that is the true essence of my purpose. And I've made a list, y'all. When I tell you I've made a list, I started writing these things down as I've been thinking about them, as I have been noticing them. And I'm not writing them down just, to put things on a checklist, but I'm writing them down to see myself, for it to be a mirror for myself so that I can use it again as instruction, so I can remind myself that this is the version of me that God created. This is the version of me that is the personality that is aligned with my purpose. This is the version of me that the world tried to try to quiet, that expectations try to dismantle, right? And this is my becoming blueprint. That's how I decided to create this idea of me becoming, and I created this blueprint with all of the notes and all of the things and all of my reflections and all of my insights and thoughts. And my becoming blueprint has allowed me to rediscover, and in some cases discover, myself and who I truly am. And it's allowed me to see, the things that move me, that guide me, my core desires, my core, my core fears, um, the things that I love, the things that make me flow, the things that are uh, innate for me, right? And even the things that make me stress. And I'm realizing that it's allowing me to see that all of these little things, quirky things, goofy things, imperfect things, they need to speak as loudly as the things that I have shown that are in line with that idea of perfectionism. I need to give them room. I need to stop hiding them. And because they are all a part of my becoming who I am, my personality, my purpose, my becoming blueprint is what I'm going to pay attention to, what I'm going to listen to. It's the clues that are going to help me to understand my wiring a little deeper. It's my joy, it's my peace, it's my rest, it's my faith, and it's my becoming, it's my story. And I'm glad I'm able to share it with you. So thank you.